Right after one of the gutsiest wins of her career at the National Bank Open in Toronto, Filipino tennis fans everywhere are asking the same question. Is Eala okay? Because for a few terrifying minutes on court, it did not look okay at all. In the middle of her third-round battle against American Caty McNally, with the match locked at 3-2 in the second set, Alex rolled her right ankle chasing down a forehand. She landed awkwardly, her body twisted, and in an instant the momentum of the match completely changed. She called for the physio. The trainer rushed out. Her ankle was checked, taped up, and for a moment, the sold-out crowd at Sobeys Stadium held its breath, wondering if her run in Toronto was about to end right there on the court. To make things even tougher, McNally was not just any opponent that night. She had already knocked out reigning Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova earlier in the tournament, and she was playing with variety and aggression that kept Alex off balance all night. The ankle injury could not have come at a worse time against an opponent already playing the best tennis of her career. If you have followed Alex's story, you know this is exactly the kind of moment that makes Filipino fans nervous because we have seen how much she has already put her body through this season. Here is what actually happened next, and why it matters more than people realize. Alex did not walk off. She did not retire from a match. Despite the pain, despite the uncertainty of not even knowing how bad the damage was, she chose to keep playing. That decision alone tells you everything about who she is as a competitor. She fought through the rest of that second set, then dug in for a third, and somehow, through visible discomfort, closed out the match against McNally 6-3, 5-7, 6-4. 3 sets, a rolled ankle, and still a win. After the match, Alex spoke to reporters and gave her fans the update they were desperate to hear. In her on-court interview, she simply said, "I'm okay, I think I survived that one, it was so tough." Later in the press conference, she went into more detail, explaining that she rolled her ankle going for forehand, landed wrong, and called the physio because it happened so fast she barely understood what had occurred herself. But after getting it checked, she confirmed there was nothing seriously wrong. No fracture, no major damage, just a scare. That is the kind of news that lets an entire country exhale at the same time. And true to her character, Alex still made sure to credit McNally, calling her a great sport and saying the result came down to details and a little bit of luck. But here is the part of the story that deserves just as much attention as the ankle itself, and it is something Alex admitted openly. She is exhausted. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Think about what her body has been through in just the past couple of weeks. She played a demanding run of matches at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington, where she pulled off a result that had never been done before by any Filipino player, taking down world number 3 Jessica Pegula to win her very first WTA singles title. That alone would be enough to leave any athlete drained. Instead, almost immediately after that historic win, she packed her bags and flew straight into another tournament, the National Bank Open in Toronto, with barely any time in between to properly rest or let her body reset. She opened in Toronto with a tough 3-set win over Alycia Parks, then turned around and battled through the ankle scare against McNally. That win actually stretched her streak to 10 victories in her last 11 matches, dating back to Wimbledon, a rare run for anyone, let alone someone nursing a fresh ankle injury. Alex said it herself after the match that the physical toll has been real, that she has a lot of matches in her legs right now, and that this stretch has also been part of her learning process as a professional athlete. Eventually, the run in Toronto came to an end in the round of 16, where she faced experienced Swiss veteran Belinda Bencic. The fatigue that had been building for 2 straight weeks finally caught up with her, and Bencic closed out the match 6-4, 6-0. Now, before anyone feels disappointed by that scoreline, let's be honest about what actually happened here. This was not a case of Alex losing her form or her confidence. This was 2 weeks of relentless, high-pressure tennis, finally catching up with a 21-year-old who had already given everything she had. A title in Washington, a gritty 3-set win to open Toronto, a frightening ankle injury she played through anyway, Reaching the round of 16 of a WTA 1000 event under those circumstances is still something worth being proud of. And this is exactly the moment where, as fans, our support matters most. It is easy to cheer when someone is winning. It takes a little more heart to stay just as loud when they lose, especially when you understand the full story behind that loss. So, what happens next? Alex has said she plans to take a short break before heading to Cincinnati for her next tournament. And honestly, that break might be the smartest, most important decision of her season. An ankle that got twisted this badly needs real time to heal, not just a quick wrap and a painkiller. A body that has played this many high-stakes matches in such a short span needs rest before it breaks down further. And a mind that has been carrying the weight of an entire nation's hopes needs a chance to breathe before the U.S. Open arrives. This whole stretch is a reminder of something we sometimes forget when we watch athletes perform at this level. Alex is not a machine. She is a young woman who feels pain in her ankle, exhaustion in her legs, and pressure on her shoulders every single time she steps onto that court. And despite all of that, she keeps showing up, keeps fighting, and keeps representing the Philippines with everything she has. Winning matters, of course it does, but an athlete's long-term health always has to come first. If Alex needs extra days to recover before Cincinnati, or even before the U.S. Open, that is not something to be disappointed about. That is something to respect. Her performance in Toronto proved once again that what makes Alex special is not only her forehand or her fighting spirit on match point. It is the resilience she shows when things go wrong, the honesty she gives her fans, and the pride she carries every time she puts on that Philippine flag. Get well soon, Alex. Take the rest your body has earned. Your supporters around the world are not going anywhere. Now here is a question for you. Do you think Alex should push forward and compete right away in Cincinnati, or should she prioritize extra recovery time before the U.S. Open? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to stay updated on everything happening in her season, make sure you are subscribed.